It's been a busy month for SALA, which started off in Uitenhage supporting Muir College's 200th anniversary celebrations.
So Mr. Francis mentioned that tomorrow the old Muirite Rugby Legends are playing against the SA Rugby Legends. This is what the specially designed shirt looks like, and we've had one made for the headmaster and deputy in advance. So in the planning for this Founders Week, it was thought that for a school turning 200 years old, how can you organize just a weekend of activities? And hence, many of you will know that we are hosting a whole week of activities, and we really appreciate the schools accommodating us here at the campus for this whole week. It really is much appreciated.
And the mural flag is fly, red lion, rose at last, and the first team takes to the whole grind for the school and overs of the past. May the girls start the game with the blast, and feel the battle lies before them fierce. The forwards advance in the shine, the back line spreads the ball wide, as the college rushes on the great pride. The run makes the day, we know it's all the way. We are brave men of blue, that blood must bar.
Means a lot, it's bigger than us. It feels, we take a lot of pride in being here.
Past people have done this for a long time. There's more to us, the bloodline, our blood is bruised, and it's a lot. 200 years of excellence, 200 years of war cry. Thank you, sir.
At the ripe age of 200, Muir College is South Africa's oldest boys' school, with a proud history and legacy that has been carried through the centuries. They have a proud rugby history too, having produced some fine players who've gone on to earn provincial colours, as well as two Springboks, Fred Smollen in 1933, and in more recent times the mercurial Garth Wright. It was a great honour for SALA to accept the invitation to be part of the school celebrations, starting with a coaching clinic to pass on knowledge to the next generation.
Come back this side. Start over again. Remember, follow the pass.
Happy birthday, Muir College!
Darren Nell, a former Muirite, was one of the SA Rugby Legends participating.
It's a great celebration for Muir, 200 years, oldest boys' school in the country, and yeah, this is where I was at school my whole school career. So it's fantastic to see old friends and people you haven't seen in a long time, and then come back to the old building and play on the Marie field again, and really go back to, brings back good old memories. The Legends, it's always great to get together. With COVID having been around for now last 2-3 years, we haven't had a chance to get together much. And this weekend, seeing all the guys together again and the camaraderie, it's fantastic to be part of it.
Just to be in the era of being in 200 years is fantastic. The celebrations we've had up to now for the whole week has been fantastic. The passion and the heartfelt warmth that's come through in this week is unbelievable.
Muir's week-long celebrations would culminate in a rugby derby day, including a Legends game, SA Rugby Legends against the Muir College Legends.
Yes, it looks like the Muir guys have been putting in a lot of effort. Could see they've possibly been training for about 2-3 weeks, whereas our guys have been under training and possibly overtrained last night, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be epic, it's going to be big, and it's going to be slow.
Yeah, I made it. Thanks for the Legends for letting me wake up at 3 in the morning to come and play. But very excited, it's going to be awesome. Cheers.
Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Accelerate training in the morning.
Just a quick warm-up before the game. No problem.
Thank you, Legends. You look awesome.
First time you speak English.
Yeah, we're working on English.
Oh, you're working very hard.
The SA Rugby Legends team featured mainly players based in the Eastern Cape.
Well, it's incredible. My father was here in primary school, and he's always spoke about the Muir culture. And I know a lot of Muir boys, Glenn Elfrink, a lot of great sportsmen have come out of the school. So love the school dearly, and to support it down here in the Eastern Cape is even better. And the turnout's always good, and just hoping for a good bit of rugby and to save some bones on the field.
They're legends for us, because you know what? They've given back to the legends to keep us going. So really, we really respect you guys so much.
Make sure we get our cleaners there quickly in the first 5 minutes and we play it from there. Let's go and enjoy it, Okay. Legends! Yes!
You know, when the legends are playing and everything becomes serious, although the boys tend to joke it up a little bit beforehand, the competition becomes imminent on the field, and being natural competitors and ex-professional sports boys, I'm sure we'll see an epic this afternoon when the boys play.
Let's give it up. This is the match. SA Legends and Muir Legends. Come on, guys. Let's welcome these guys onto the field. This is going to be an interesting one.
It's always lekker to be around the boys and keep the gears up going. And to play with the legends, it's always an honor to play for the legends. Actually, the game was hard. We didn't expect the guys will come so physical on us, but we managed the game and we stay in our structures. It's one of the old schools here, and we really look up to the school because it's one of the old schools in Eastern Cape.
Very nice to be part of this whole historic event, and the guys hosting it, and yeah, to be privileged to be part of this. As you said, I've played a couple of games for the Legends in the past, and it started off with the Cape Town teams. Been very fortunate, and yeah, it's all about pride, wearing this badge and giving your best.
This is what Legends is all about, is giving ex-players another life in rugby. Want to play games like this, I enjoyed it, it was hard, it was tough, but also to put back into the game. Originally when John Allen and Gavin started this, it was take the legends to the smaller places who don't see the Springboks, don't see the ex-players, and it just enhances their whole community, which we've been all over South Africa. And it's great to get back to that after the 2 years of COVID.
It was time for the future legends to play, and a classic Eastern Cape derby. Muir College against rivals Grey High. The match was a close one. It could have gone either way, the visitors eventually sneaking through. Later that evening, another chance for the current crop of Muirites to honour those who have gone before them, many of whom have travelled from across the world for the week to mark the special milestone. Mr. Mack honouring the occasion with a special presentation from Salo. Congratulations to Muir College. Here's to another 200 years. Muirite Garth Wright was the Muir Legends captain in honour of his celebrated Springbok and provincial rugby career. He has remained living in the Eastern Cape, where he runs a successful security business. Garth was one of the first group of SA Rugby Legends to participate in Sala's tours and activities 21 years ago.
Firstly, it's quite a shock that it's 21 years ago. It feels like yesterday, you know. I got the call from John Allen to say, look, we're off, you want to join us? And we're starting up an SA Legends setup, and we're going to go on a tour, and we're going to have a bit of fun. And so, I mean, my hand was up in the air long before, it was halfway through the sentence. And of course, along with John Allen came Duba and a couple of others, and Adrian Geldenhuis didn't miss the tour, he was excellent as well. And of course, I had Ian Mack, who was like the cornerstone of it all, holding us together. But yeah, we had just great tours, great fun. The whole idea of using rugby, giving back to rugby, and of course raising money for rugby, that resonated with me, 21 years ago. I thought, what a good idea. I must take my hat off to Gavin for the efforts he's put in. You know that. I mean, without his fire and enthusiasm and commitment, you know, I doubt we would have achieved as much as the SA Legends has. So I thought of all the tours, Argentina had to be the best. You know, we got in a bus, we really met a lot of local people. It was an incredible journey. Stopped the bus in a little town, went to the field, and there's 70 buckies parked around the field. Half of them, maybe more than half, are South Africans, you know, South African farmers, you know. It was just incredible. And then we'd have, you know, play the rugby is one thing, and we had a lot of fun. But obviously afterwards was a big braai and you know, a few beers and just sharing stories and growing. It was wonderful.
Garth earned his first Springbok cap in 1986, in an era when rugby was still considered an amateur game.
So we played in an amateur world, and I must say we had a ton of fun in doing such. I think in the modern game they're more focused on rugby itself and not so much on the fun part. I think ours was 50-50, and I think I got the better deal actually in the end. But yeah, it must be great to be able to wake up on a Monday morning only worry about rugby. You know, we used to wake up on a Monday morning and go to a job, and then we would, after the work, we'd go to practice, and then we'd get home at 9 o'clock at night. You know, and we'd do that on Tuesday, we'd do that on Wednesday, we'd do that on Thursday. Then we'd go away for the weekend. So yeah, but still, bottom line, no regrets. It was a great journey for me playing rugby. For the kids of today, it's only hard work. It's anything is possible if you put the work in, and you've got to have a little bit of belief in yourself too. You can't walk around there thinking you're not going to make it. You've got to believe you can make it. If you put the hard work in, there's a chance, and then anything is possible after that. In Lyon, when the Springboks had their backs to the wall, it was a tough tour. We really got put on the rack there, and we were unprepared. We weren't ready for that tour. We had 3 days training, 4 days training, and we took off to go and take on France. We'd been playing together for the last 7-8 years as a team. So getting to Lyon and getting the newspaper on the Friday, and my good friend Audie Gelners could read French, and he just said to me, you know what this paper says, you know, the L'Equipe. I said, well, I can't read French. He said, well, they say if they don't give us 50 points, France will lose tomorrow. And we beat him. And we beat him properly. And Donny Gabber was immense and immaculate. So James Small scored a try in the corner. It was an incredible memory. And then we went back into that room and we sang some songs that were meaningful. And those players that were there will remember those songs, and I'll never forget them.
Nowadays, he participates in a sport where he is also able to continue giving back.
One of my great privileges is to do the Ironman. You know, my friend and I, Gary Stevenson, started a charity called Ironman for the Kids. I've used it as a conduit to get as many Springboks through to do the Ironman. And the key to the Ironman is their motto. You know, it's anything is possible. So I use that anything is possible with the orphan kids. Because obviously they got the short straw, you know, there's no support system. I must say, I think we've got around about 2,700 orphans that we touch somewhere along the way. I think over the years, we've been doing it for 17, 18 years. I think we've raised about 22 or 23 million. It's been a great journey and a great privilege to do. Yeah, well, guys, SA Legends, Sale, fantastic work. It's been a great journey. Doff my hat to the president, doff my hat to the coach and Mac. They've done a superb job. 21 years has flown by. See you in 21 more years.
Thanks, Garth, for your part in our success. From the Eastern Cape to Gauteng, where we join SA Rugby Legends Donnie Coetzee and Etienne Reyneke, passing on their rugby skills.
Yes, obviously as legends, we go to schools and plough back into rugby. A lot of young players can't afford tours, fundraisers for that, do the clinics, do the golf days, but still was a big success. Obviously we're trying to align the guys in terms of attack, or get into a strong position, don't get injured, protect the necks, backs, get into a strong position, place the ball or play it, use your options. Guys are not familiar playing on the ground, there is options for that, so we're just trying to get the boys used to that as well. There is options once you're on the ground after a tackle.
At a pro level, people don't really know exactly how to tackle low, and that's why they can break tackles and where, you know, body position, where to put your arm, things like that. So we did a bit of that, bit of placing of a ball. So it was nice to smoke a tokkelis a bit. When guys go for a low tackle, especially if there's got a bit of space and he attacks you on the outside, when they drop, they put their knee already low on the ground. And then that's when they bring their arm through, then they break that tackle as well. And it was just to focus a little bit. Always keep on your feet, close the space, hit the shoulder on, then get the arm around instead of the leg. Rather focus on the, like I said, the love handle. It was small detail like that with the boys. Oh yeah, a lot of boys we see when they tackle, they drop their head. Except that they put their head on the wrong side. We worked with that a little bit. Then if you got your head on the right side, always just before the contact, always put your head up. We just showed them an example. If you drop your head, you know, it's long hand, you can get a guy on the ground quickly. Yeah, so that's a small details. Like always keep your head, like anything in life.
Look at that. Kijk, het ver. Op mijn kop, opgaan. Sla je dat zit.
Yeah, we're going to a lovely golf day in Warmbad, Bella Bella. That's what the legends, that's what they do. We go all over the world and you know, enrich the community with rugby.
You know what? They are in Limpopo now. I see the boys is sweating profusely. Listen to that English for Afrikaans, boykie. No, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice day here in Limpopo, Modimolle. I'm actually from the bordering town, Mokopane, but we're looking forward to it. Good laughs, good times with good people.
I think it's a financial injection that these smaller towns that where I come from is very important to the schools, very important to the development of younger players like myself. I grew up in an environment like this, like I said earlier, one town over. So yeah, days like this I think is crucial, and the more guys we can get to buy into this kind of days and make it a success, the better off in the long run it'll be for schools rugby and boys like myself that comes through the ranks. Okay, so these days, it's funny enough, my grandfather, you know, those days when they still played rugby for the love of the sport. And when I told him that I'm a contract player and I'm playing for the Bulls now, it's hard for them to fathom that this is a profession, this is a life. You make a life for yourself with rugby. So the day I told him I'm done with rugby, I'm gonna get a real job now, he was so glad, and he said, yeah, he's glad that I'm gonna get a real job now. So that was quite funny. But I build filling stations for a living. I work for oil companies like Engen, BP, and Total. We do new filling stations, but also the maintenance on existing service stations. And my area that I work is obviously Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, and Northwest. So yeah, it's a family business. It's been coming for about 30 years now. Grandfather, father, and I'm the only son. So normally I have to carry that flag further. Listen, it's always nice to see a young guy up and coming and with a lot of potential, and then also a lot of drive. So it's always nice to see if the young guys at the Bulls are like exciting to watch, and you can see that they are upcoming. You know that it's gonna go well with the Bulls in the future years. So one, that's very exciting to see. Secondly, my word of advice to him would be that the Bulls is a family. It's not just your workplace. It's not just somewhere that you go to live out your talent. The Bulls is a family. From the guy that cuts the grass at the Bulls, from the people that clean the stadium, it's a big family. And I was part of that family for 11 years. I started under 19 and I left when I was 30, I think 31. So 11 years of my life I used to be, or 30, yeah, 30. For 11 years I used to be at the Bulls, and it was an amazing part of my life. And I was truly blessed to be there, and still today, I'm part of the Bulls family. I believe that in my heart. For one day, from one Blue Bull to another, best of luck in. I can only say this in Afrikaans, as hulle druk 'n bietjie harder terug.
Brian Habana, who earned 124 Springbok caps, is one of 7 rugby centurions from South Africa, and in October this year he will join his fellow centurions at a gala dinner to celebrate Sala's 21st anniversary.
The 8th of October I think is going to be a monumental occasion. I think what Gavin Verigis has done with the South African Rugby Legends Association, how he's given a new lease of life, or started a new chapter for many former players, to see what South African Rugby Legends have done. You see how Gav has really been at the forefront of bringing people together, giving them an opportunity, making them a part of a team again, but also, more important than that, using that as a fundamental opportunity to give back. Rugby has given us as former players so much, but being able to see the grassroots development, the give back, some great stories that come out of the inspiration that has now been passed on, and sharing the joy that rugby is. The one beautiful thing about rugby is the camaraderie that it brings about. And I think for us as former players, through the vehicle that is South African Rugby Legends Association, to be able to give back in a way in which we probably wouldn't have had the opportunity, I think we're extremely grateful that there are special people in the world like Gavin Verigis, and hopefully we can play our part in contributing to the legacy the SA Rugby Legends has really built up over the last 21 years.
We also started the Rugby Centurions of the World in 2017, and it's just absolutely amazing to have those centurions coming through from all over the world, having our 6th centurions and our newest centurion, our 7th centurion, Evan Esabeth, who's the youngest centurion ever in world history, and it's just fantastic. And Evan is just the most wonderful guy, so we're really excited about him being inducted into the Rugby Centurions on the evening. We have one of the greatest rock bands ever in Foreigner that are going to be headlining the night for us, and Jesse Clegg as well. So it's just really going to be a truly wonderful evening that we're really looking forward to celebrating rugby in our country.
For more information about the gala dinner, check out sarugbylegends.com and our social media platforms. Our social media has been busy over the past few months running the legendary Rugby Moment competition. But what, for some of our former Boks, are their legendary rugby moments?
As guys, I'm here at the tunnel at Ellis Park. Bunny Bob with me is about to do some interviews, and we're going to talk about his legendary rugby moment. Bobs, tell us your legendary rugby moment.
My legendary rugby moment was in 1996, going into the change room and seeing how big John Alomo's head was and how big Zins and Brooke were, and I thought to myself, one day is one day. And yes sir, we did it.
So upload your legendary rugby moment. I'll tell you one special story, guys. I remember, if you look around here, right at the back here at Ellis Park, running out once after the warm-up, and guess who was here? Our old president, Mr. Mandela, to meet the Springbok team right at the spot here as we were about to run out and sing the anthem. So that's my legendary rugby moment. I want one of the prolific try scorers. I'm actually quite interested to see what his legendary rugby moment is. Retty, what's your legendary rugby moment?
Oh, sure, man. There's quite a few, but one moment that stood out for me was the 3rd and 4th play against the All Blacks in Cardiff. When we unfortunately lost against Australia. So, we played a really good All Black side. Lomo, Manga, Cullen, those kind of oaks. And, he scored 2 in that game. Percy Montgomery had 2 drop goals. So, for me, there was an awesome moment. It's almost like reviving my rugby career, because at that time I was trying to break into the Springbok side, and I think that gave me that moment sort of step it up?
Yeah, well, that's Brady's legendary rugby moment, and I remember it. It was the chip and chase. He kept going, another chip and chase, a try. But one of the legendary rugby moments I've seen with those guys, him scoring a try in this legendary, well, the celebration, the flick flats. I'd never try that because I'd land on my back and probably hurt myself and injure myself.
Come on!
So, guys, plenty of legendary rugby moments. Shimmy and Brady, over and out.
Yes.
Anyone can participate in the competition, which is still running. The lucky winners of the Cell C prize of 200 gigs of data and a Samsung cell phone will be revealed on our social media platforms at the end of August.